part two of our report on armed security guards, the results of a year-long investigation into people hired to protect who, in some cases, end up killing. Private armed security guards, they're everywhere, in shopping malls, at sporting events, patrolling neighborhoods, just like the police. Most of them do a very important job and risk their lives at times. But unlike the police, their training and government oversight is spotty at best, depending on where they work. In our exclusive investigation with the Center for Investigative Reporting, we look at what happens when poor oversight does lead to tragedy. Here's senior investigative correspondent Drew Griffin with part two of Hired Guns.
This is former security guard Joshua Kasashenko taking a smoking break outside the private security company where he works in suburban Phoenix. He's not carrying a gun now, but 5.5 years ago, he was armed and licensed to carry by Arizona's Department of Public Safety. That turned out to be a dangerous breakdown in the system. An investigation by CNN and the Center for Investigative Reporting found licensing requirements so varied, and in some states so lax, it can be harder to become a manicurist than an armed security guard.
I woke up and I had tubes running down my throat.
Daniel Tarango today is in a wheelchair, paralyzed after being shot through his car window over stolen food. The person that shot and nearly killed him was a then 19-year-old security guard, Joshua Kasashenko, who should have never been allowed to carry a gun.
Hey, Joshua. Drew Griffin with CNN. How are you? We've been trying to get in touch with you, and we're doing a story on security guards. How did you become an armed security guard? How is that possible?
I'd rather not comment, sir.
Do you think that you should be placed in a position where I believe you're training security guards now?
No comment.
It was shortly before 2 in the morning on June 3rd, 2009, at this convenience store in Tucson. Tarango was 18 years old. Kasashenko was hired as a security guard, watching for shoplifters.
We were just going to get some food and leave, and it wasn't going to be that big of a deal.
Tarango says he waited outside in his car as his friends went in to steal food, and in the next few moments, Kasashenko and a second security guard gave chase. A scuffle broke out. His friends ran. Tarango threw the car in reverse. Kasashenko opened fire.
I just heard bot, bot, bot. When I heard the gunfire, I looked back and I just seen the glass shatter, and I felt like a slight push, like somebody had pushed me over.
Tarango admits he should have never been there. It turns out Kasashenko should not have been working as an armed guard there either. He had a criminal record as a juvenile. In fact, he had several run-ins with the juvenile system. When he was 13, he pled guilty to 2 counts of aggravated assault. He was deemed a felon and a juvenile delinquent. The court placed him on probation and made him a prohibited possessor, meaning he lost his right to bear arms at least until he turned 30. But even with all that information, we discovered the Arizona Department of Public Safety never checked his record. Captain Steve Enteman oversees licensing for armed guards.
This guy's juvenile records apparently weren't checked. So where was the breakdown?
Because Arizona does not require juvenile records to be reported. In this particular instance, it's adjudicated record as opposed to a conviction. It does not show that he had any kind of record whatsoever.
But certainly the check could have gone beyond that. You could look at his juvenile records.
We could look at his juvenile records had he disclosed that he had that in his background.
So as long as he lies on his application, he basically hides his entire juvenile record?
In this particular case, yes.
The state didn't even need his juvenile record. Since Kasashenko is a prohibited possessor banned from carrying a gun, that information would have shown up in a federal law enforcement database. But Arizona didn't check it. The state of Arizona may be a poster child for what's wrong with the nation's lack of regulation for the armed security guard industry. Kasashenko's armed guard training consisted of just 16 hours, only about 4 of which took place at a gun range. Arizona is one of 27 states that doesn't check if someone applying to become an armed guard is prohibited from possessing a gun. The company that hired Joshua Kosachenko refused to talk with CNN, as did Kosachenko himself.
Yeah, Drew Griffin with CNN.
Hi, gentlemen.
Hey,
Can
Mr.
you guys
T?
please leave the building? We don't want to be on film.
Okay.
But in a court deposition, he explained he was fully justified in shooting the fleeing shoplifters because his job was to stop them.
Okay. So did you think it was smart to chase after him into the parking lot?
I wouldn't necessarily say it was smart or not smart. I would say that it's a danger associated with the job.
And the job was to arrest snack food shoplifters.
It's
that
to arrest
right?
shoplifters for anything, period.
Steve Amate is a lobbyist and general counsel for the National Association of Security Companies. We met up with him at the industry's annual convention earlier this year, where he continues to push for FBI background checks for anyone who wants to be an armed guard. In 9 states, even an FBI background check is not required.
The public, they look to security officers in emergency situations. We want to make sure that this guy is properly vetted and is not going to be a problem himself.
That's not going to be easy. In the last 4 years, there have been no fewer than a dozen bills introduced in state legislatures and in Congress trying to control, license, or regulate who can become a security guard. Of those, most have failed.
Get down on the ground!
Even after the shooting of Daniel Tarango, Arizona did little to change its licensing requirements. There is this additional box, which relies on applicants to disclose or check if they are a prohibited possessor, legally barred from owning a gun. But Arizona still doesn't check that federal database when someone applies to be an armed guard.
If they're not truthful with us, we can't control if a person's untruthful to us.
As for Joshua Kosachenko, after the shooting, he was arrested for attempted murder, but ultimately only indicted and convicted for violating the law that banned him from possessing a gun. He served probation. He now works, according to his LinkedIn page, as a corporate trainer and hiring manager for the very same security company he worked for the night he shot and nearly killed Daniel Tarango.
Do you think that the state of Arizona should have given you a license to be an armed guard when you got an arm?
No comment, sir.
No comment at all?
No comment.
Drew Griffin joins me now. What's next in terms of making some sort of changes in some of these states?
You know, I think the problem, Anderson, is the industry itself. They want to keep the pay low. These jobs are very low-pay jobs, and as a result, you have very low-skilled or no-skilled people going into these jobs. And I think because regulation has failed, until you have businesses that hire security companies to guard them, in this case a convenience store, demanding more, then I don't think there will be a change, and you're going to continue to see problems
there's certainly
like
good
this.
security guards out there. I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of them in this country. CNN has them, and I have great faith in the folks that I've seen.
And the very good ones, the very good companies, they will pay for training, they will pay for skills, they will update their guards, they will make sure that every one of their guards does not have a criminal background.
Right.
But it's
The lack
a matter
of checking in this case is pretty incredible.
Yeah, the lack of checking by both the company and by Arizona itself.